Have you ever wondered what secrets the notorious pirates of the past might have hidden beneath their eye patches and pirate hats? Their world, shrouded in mystery, is far more intriguing and complex than most of us could ever imagine. Pirates have long held a fascinating place in our collective imagination. They are figures of both terror and intrigue, conjuring images of swashbuckling adventurers on the high seas. But how much of what we know about these seafaring rogues is based on fact, and how much is embellished by the romantic lens of popular culture? When we think of pirates, we often picture flamboyant characters like Captain Jack Sparrow or the ruthless Long John Silver. We envision them sailing under the ominous black flag, the skull and crossbones striking fear into the hearts of those unfortunate enough to cross their path. But the reality of pirate life was far from glamorous. It was a brutal and often short-lived existence. Pirates were outlaws, constantly on the run from naval forces and bounty hunters. They endured harsh living conditions and faced the constant threat of mutiny, imprisonment, or worse. Yet, despite the harsh realities, there was something about the pirate life that drew men and women to it. Was it the promise of wealth and freedom, or perhaps the allure of a life unbound by society's rules? The truth likely lies somewhere in between. Pirates were more than just the ruthless criminals we often make them out to be. They were also explorers, rebels, and sometimes even agents of change. They challenged the established order, and in doing so left an indelible mark on our history. But what secrets did they hide? What truths lie beneath the myths and legends that have grown around them? And how have recent discoveries shed light on their secret lives? These are the questions we'll explore as we delve into the mysterious world of pirates. From the early myths that shaped our understanding of these seafaring rogues, to the surprising discoveries that continue to reshape that understanding. Now, let's delve into the world of pirates, from the early myths to the recent discoveries. The story of pirates begins with myths and legends. Long before pirates sailed the seven seas, they were the stuff of whispers and fireside tales, shadowy figures that offered a thrilling blend of terror and allure. These early myths and legends painted pirates as both villains and heroes, ruthless plunderers and rebellious freedom fighters. The first pirates to grace the pages of history were the Sea Peoples, an enigmatic group whose origins are lost to time. They were said to have terrorized the Mediterranean during the Bronze Age, their exploits becoming the stuff of legend. From these early tales, the image of the pirate as a fearsome, merciless marauder was born. Then came the Vikings, seafaring warriors from the north. Their daring raids and fearless exploration of unknown waters further fed the pirate mythos. They were seen as both ruthless predators and daring explorers, sowing fear and awe in equal measure. In the Middle Ages, the Barbary pirates of North Africa entered the scene. Their notorious raids across the Mediterranean and even as far north as Iceland added a new element to the pirate legend: the image of the pirate as a cunning, elusive outlaw. These early myths and legends have shaped our perception of pirates, painting them as larger-than-life figures who live outside the bounds of law and society. They've inspired countless books, movies, and even video games, transforming pirates from historical figures into icons of popular culture. But as captivating as these tales are, they are only part of the story. The real world of pirates, as we'll discover, was far more complex and fascinating. They were not just ruthless raiders or romantic rebels, but human beings with their own hopes, fears, and dreams. While these myths have shaped our understanding of pirates, they are just the beginning of the story. The golden age of piracy, a period of intense pirate activity, brought forth a new breed of pirates. This era, spanning the late 17th to early 18th century, was a time when pirates roamed the seas, their black flags instilling fear in the hearts of seafarers. It was a time when men like Edward Teach, known to the world as the infamous Blackbeard, and William Kidd, better known as Captain Kidd, made their mark. Blackbeard, with his fearsome appearance, complete with a thick black beard and slow match fuses burning in his hat, was a sight to behold. His reign of terror on the seas was legendary, yet it was his cunning and strategic mind that truly set him apart. He knew how to use fear as a weapon, often avoiding bloody battles by simply terrifying his adversaries into surrender. On the other end of the spectrum was Captain Kidd, a man who started his maritime career as a privateer, a pirate sanctioned by the government. His story is one of a fall from grace, as he was later accused of turning to piracy and hanged. His life serves as a reminder of the thin line between privateering and piracy, and the perilous life that awaited those who crossed it. But life during the golden age of piracy was not all treasure and adventure. It was a harsh existence filled with disease, danger, and death. Pirates often lived short, brutal lives, with many meeting their end at the gallows. Yet, despite the hardships, the lure of freedom, adventure, and potential riches proved too strong for many to resist. The Golden Age saw piracy evolve from a disorganized, opportunistic endeavor into a more structured, almost corporate entity. This period witnessed the establishment of pirate codes, the creation of pirate havens, and even the formation of pirate democracies, where decisions were made collectively and plunder was divided equally. The Golden Age of piracy, while brutal, left a lasting imprint on pirate lore. It painted a romanticized picture of pirates that endures to this day, even as it obscured the harsh realities of their existence. The New World beckoned pirates with promises of riches and adventure. As the European powers began to explore and colonize the New World, pirates were not far behind. The vast, uncharted waters of the Atlantic Ocean and the Caribbean Sea provided ample opportunities for these seafaring outlaws to exploit. They preyed on the wealthy merchant ships carrying gold, silver, and other valuable goods from the New World back to Europe. These pirates, however, were not just criminal opportunists. In many ways, they were a product of the turbulent times. Colonial powers often employed them as privateers, legal pirates, to wage war on their rivals' shipping lanes. Pirates like Sir Francis Drake, working for the English crown, wreaked havoc on Spanish fleets, aiding in England's colonial ambitions. Pirates also played a role in the establishment of new societies. Some, like the infamous pirate haven of Port Royal in Jamaica, became bustling centers of commerce and vice. These pirate enclaves, often located on remote islands or hidden coves, operated outside the jurisdiction of the colonial powers, creating their own unique, if lawless, societies. The influence of these pirates extended beyond their maritime exploits. They challenged the monopoly of the colonial powers, disrupted trade, and even helped shape the political landscape of the New World. Their attacks on Spanish galleons, for instance, weakened Spain's grip on its American colonies, opening the door for other European powers to stake their claims. Yet, for all their impact, the pirates' reign in the New World was relatively short-lived. The colonial powers, growing tired of the pirates' disruptions, launched aggressive campaigns to eradicate them. By the end of the 17th century, the era of the New World pirates was largely over, but their legacy lived on. The tales of their exploits, embellished over time, became the stuff of legend, shaping our modern image of pirates. From fearsome captains to buried treasure, these stories continue to captivate us, even today. These New World pirates added a new chapter to the pirate narrative. Pirates had their own codes of conduct and even formed secret societies. A pirate's life was not simply about plundering and living outside the law. In fact, pirates were surprisingly organized and had their own rules and regulations. It might seem counterintuitive that those who lived to break societal laws would have their own, but it was these codes of conduct that kept the crews from descending into chaos. Pirate codes, or articles, were agreements signed by every crew member setting out the rules of the ship. These articles covered everything from division of loot to compensation for injuries. Now let's delve deeper into the clandestine world of pirate secret societies. It's important to understand that piracy wasn't a lone wolf profession. Cooperation was key. Pirates had to trust their crewmates with their lives and their loot. To ensure loyalty and trust, pirates formed secret societies, where members swore oaths of allegiance. These societies were so secretive that they were often unknown to the authorities, and even to other pirates. These societies weren't just about loyalty and trust, They also played a significant role in maintaining democracy aboard the ship. Yes, you heard it right. Democracy. A pirate ship was more democratic than most societies of the time. The captain was elected by the crew and could be voted out if they were deemed unfit for the job. The quartermaster, who was in charge of food and supplies, was also elected. This democratic system helped maintain order and discipline among the crew. It ensured that every crew member had a voice and a say in the decisions that affected them. It also prevented power from being concentrated in the hands of a few, a stark contrast to the autocratic rule seen aboard military and merchant vessels of the time. In conclusion, pirate codes of conduct and secret societies were essential facets of pirate life that fostered cooperation, maintained order, and upheld a democratic system on board. These secret societies and codes reveal a different side of pirates, far removed from the myths and legends. Recent discoveries have shed new light on the secret lives of pirates. Today, we delve into the latest archaeological and historical discoveries that have transformed our understanding of these seafaring renegades. The turn of the 21st century brought a wave of new information thanks to the tireless work of archaeologists and historians. One such discovery was the pirate ship, Queen Anne's Revenge, captained by the notorious Blackbeard. Found off the coast of North Carolina in 2011, the ship's artifacts revealed a life of both violence and sophistication, contradicting the brutish image often portrayed. In 2015, an excavation in Madagascar unearthed the first-ever pirate graveyard. The human remains found there, believed to belong to Captain William Kidd's crew, showed signs of strenuous physical labor, suggesting a harsh life at sea. This discovery disrupted the romanticized vision of a pirate's life of ease and high adventure. Perhaps one of the most surprising discoveries came from the pirate haven of Port Royal, Jamaica. Here, the remains of a sunken city, lost to an earthquake in the 17th century, were unearthed. Among the ruins, archaeologists found a trove of artifacts depicting a rich cosmopolitan society where pirates, merchants, and nobility coexisted. This discovery challenged the notion of pirates as societal outcasts, instead painting a picture of them as integral parts of their communities. Another significant revelation came from the analysis of pirates' written correspondence. Letters and journals revealed a democratic structure aboard pirate ships, where captains were elected and booty was divided equally. This insight shattered the stereotype of the tyrannical pirate captain, replacing it with an image of a surprisingly egalitarian society. Lastly, recent studies of pirate culture have unveiled a surprising respect for diversity. Pirates from different nationalities, races, and even social classes were known to work together, suggesting a level of tolerance rarely seen in that historical period. These recent discoveries have added a new dimension to the pirate narrative. No longer mere myths and legends, pirates emerge as complex figures navigating the turbulent waters of their time with lives as rich and varied as the treasures they sought. So, what are the most surprising facts about pirates that we've uncovered? Well, let's start with a bang. Pirates didn't bury their treasure. It's a myth. Most pirates spent their loot as fast as they got it on rum, women, and gambling. The infamous X marks the spot treasure maps, a more fiction than fact. And here's another shocker. Pirates practiced democracy. A pirate ship was one of the few places in the 17th century where men voted for their leaders. The captain and quartermaster were elected positions, and major decisions were often put to a crew vote. Talk about progressive. Did you know that pirates were some of the earliest adopters of workers' compensation? If a pirate lost a limb or an eye in service, they were guaranteed a payout. A lost leg could earn you 800 pieces of 8. That's quite a retirement plan. Here's one for the books. Not all pirates were men. Some of the most feared pirates were women. Anne Bonny and Mary Read, anyone? These ladies were as ruthless and daring as their male counterparts, if not more. Now let's bust another myth. Pirates didn't actually make people walk the plank. It's a Hollywood invention. In reality, punishment was often more brutal and less theatrical, involving flogging or marooning on a deserted island. And finally, the Jolly Roger flag we associate with pirates, you know, the skull and crossbones. It wasn't the only pirate flag. Many pirates had their own unique flags, often designed to instill fear and signal their ruthlessness. It's also worth noting that pirates weren't always outlaws. Many were privateers, sanctioned by their governments to attack and loot enemy ships during war. It was a fine line between pirate and privateer, often blurred by politics and opportunity. These surprising facts challenge our preconceived notions about pirates, showing that the truth about their secret lives is stranger and more fascinating than fiction.